dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Now it's truth or dare. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Now it's truth or dare. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare to speak the truth. Look, I dare.
Yo, easily done, FANATICz. We back at it. Just seen this college football playoffs. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a couple of days. You know, had to let it marinate. What I seen, what I witnessed. First of all, kudos to the people that run college football for getting off your ass and finally realizing a playoff just makes sense. That little 14 playoff, even worse when it was 2 teams. Oh my God. And you like voted on a champion. Could you imagine them try to do it the 2-team way with a 2-loss Georgia team, a 2-loss Ohio State team, a 2-loss Texas team, a 2-loss Penn State team? You know what I mean? The only team that just you would have put in a national championship if you did it them days, or throwback days, would be Oregon. And then it'd be all hell break loose on who's your number 2 team. According to this, Boise State number 3. You feel me? But they'd have everybody and their mama crying because you ain't gonna put you know they're gonna put that Georgia team in there because that's SEC. And even back then it was SEC get their love. If it's not SEC, then it's Big Ten. And once again, Big Ten is heavily represented. Really, I think it's the first year that Big Ten doing a little bit more damage than the SEC, even though I still will tell you without blinking, the SEC is the best conference in college football, without a doubt. Big Ten number 2. Anyways, let's get to this bracket, right? So, first round, you got Clemson and Texas. I like Clemson because they got a fire young team, but they have inconsistencies in how they play. The youth shows itself. But they talented as fuck, for real. They got some dudes on that defense. TJ Edwards, number 11. Can't remember his name off the top. I love this linebacker they got named Sammy Brown, I think it's his name. Bruh, listen. Clemson is going to be right back in the mix next year. I promise you. Klubnik, their quarterback, come back. As long as they get some run, they running back room up the part. They got nothing but like freshman, sophomore receivers. Clemson is going, and they stay recruiting. The only problem with Clemson is Dabo Swinney got an issue with the transfer portal. He's old school. Like, he don't want to use the portal. You tripping, bruh. And Clemson, I guarantee you that all the athletic directors, boosters, like, bruh, we will back you up. Just go get them niggas. But he want to just recruit, and he do a good job, but he don't understand the turnover rate, how you can nullify that when you lose a bunch of people and just bring in transfers. You know, it's hit and miss. Recruiting is hit and miss. You know, ask my man that just got fired from Texas A&M 2 years ago, who was recruiting top 5 classes when he was there. You know, should have stayed his ass at Florida State. Jimbo Fisher, seriously, because he was doing just fine there. You wanted to go seek some money, you'd still be at Florida State right now. Seriously. Anyways, Texas, Clemson, when it comes to Texas in that matchup, I don't know, man. I feel like Texas defense is fired, but their offense don't. For all the talent they got, they don't scare you offensively. They don't. I don't know. They don't. I don't see them. They just have this, like, they don't pick it up enough. Even though they got a potential NFL quarterback in Quinn Ewers, all type of gangster receivers too. They got their little group of receivers, right? Maybe it's a running game because they did have one of their star running backs got hurt early in the season, and I think that might have affected their whole game plan. Because I think Buddy trying to approach it with the old school, run the ball first and then air it out, and his running game ain't where he wanted it to be, so it affects his whole offense. That's very possible. Their defense is solid, but they ain't played a lot of people. That's why Georgia beat them twice, because they just, to me, I don't like how Texas went through the SEC and didn't play Tennessee, didn't play South Carolina, didn't play Ole Miss, Didn't play Alabama. Like, come on, man. What the fuck type of shit is this, man? Y'all, they play Texas A&M and Georgia. That's it. Next time I would like to see a little bit more, get in the mix with the SEC so people can really see if you legit or not. Because the fact that you lost to Georgia and Georgia quarterback got hurt and they still won, come on, man. That make y'all look kind of bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I want to pick Clemson, but Clemson be inconsistent, man. So in that one, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to pick Clemson just because I like Dabo. Dabo got rings, so I'm gonna pick Clemson. The winner of that game gonna play Arizona State. Clemson could get all the way to after Arizona State, they're in the Final Four. Yeah, they can beat Arizona State. I'm not trying to skip over Arizona State. I just feel like Arizona State's new to this level of, playoff football and playing elite teams. The Big 12 was solid. They were very solid. Shout out to Colorado. Shout out to BYU. There were some squads in that Big 12. Iowa State was good this year. Kansas State. Big 12 was very solid this year. But Clemson just got a coach he don't win championships. So, but let me just stick right now. We'll get to the next round when we get to the next round. But I'm going to pick Clemson over Texas. Okay, Tennessee, Ohio State. That's another first round game. That's a good ass game right there. I ain't going to lie. I'm a Michigan fan though. So my first nature is just to hate on them Buckeyes. But I do got mad respect for them. I really do. I ain't no one of the Michigan fan that don't the other team, that other shit they be doing where they don't even want to name the state, the team name and all that. No. I ain't gonna do Ohio State like that. They do very well as far as putting guys in the league. Stay recruiting well, but Tennessee is Tennessee, and I grew up in Knoxville. And Tennessee ain't been as good since the Peyton Manning, T. Martin, Philip Fulmer days. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee good right now. They not going to see that Ohio State shit. Like, they going to come and play these niggas. Like, I'm telling you, Tennessee, they in the SEC, bro. So, and it's been a while since Tennessee won a championship. So, them boys going to come ready for this shit. I'm going to pick Tennessee in that one. I ain't even going to lie to you. I like Tennessee. Running back, Sampson, beast. You could argue second best running back in the nation behind my man from Boise State. Ohio State is a very talented team, and I know them niggas hot right now, but I think that whole loss to Michigan is a killer. It's going to over-pressure the situation. Like, the coach, the way he got to win, that nigga is not even, like, I guarantee you if he loses round, look bad in his round, in his game, it's a possibility that boy might lose his job, bro. I ain't trying to hate. I got respect for Ohio State, man, but this was the year to beat Michigan, bro. We just won a championship. We down, beat us so you can, keep your face clean, and you lost. Ooh, that's your business though. That's your business, player. Okay. All right. Next first round game. Oh, and the winner of the Tennessee Ohio State gonna play Oregon. I like Oregon, bro. I did not think. Shout out to these realignments, right? Because boy, did some of these teams represent for their first years in their conferences. Arizona State first year in the Big 12 won it. Oregon first year in the Big 10 won it and went undefeated and beat Ohio State and Penn State to solidify going undefeated. If I had to pick a team that's looking at this whole thing, I mean, damn, Oregon been holding it down. Why not just let them see if they can run the table? But it's the beauty of playoffs. It's about matchups. Tennessee's the type of team, they hella talented, bro. They got a mean quarterback. This dude is going to be a first top 10 pick when he gets his chance to go and be draft eligible. Nico, I am Leva. He got one of Samoan names. I am Leva. Sorry if I don't pronounce it right, but the boy can play. Shout out to all my people from Knoxville, who watching this. I know them boys turned up. Shout out to Knoxville. I know they loving this, you know, but y'all got work to do. You ain't arrived. You in the playoff. You know, handle your business. Handle your business. You know, oof, they can beat Ohio State. Can they beat Oregon? But see, that's the beauty of a matchup. You got to see because SEC is SEC, bro. Them boys come to play. Like just you know throw off just a thinking game, right? The matchup situation. We easily could have lost to my Wolverines last year, right? We won the national championship. Alabama could have won that game just as much as we could have won. That shit went to overtime. If Bama would have won, they would have won the national championship. Because whoever won that game was going to beat Washington. Sorry. Whoever won that game was going to beat Washington was not built in the trenches. That's why Michigan smashed that, but had a hard time with Alabama. See, it's all about matchups, you know? And now, Buddy, the coach at Washington, is at Alabama, and Bama, they didn't look bad. They still won 9 games, but I'm pretty sure Nick Saban would have been there. Them bitches would be right in this playoff too, because you know Nick didn't play with them Bama boys. That's why they got their bias, because Nick had them raw every year. You know what I mean? Next first round game, SMU Penn State. I gotta go with Penn State though. I got mad love for what SMU doing. They got a lot of University of Miami boys out there. I love they running back Smith and number 13. I don't know that nigga name, but he's just a gadget player that can do it all. I just mark my words. Number 13 gonna be in the NFL and gonna be decent. They just got these 2 dudes that are like special, and they got a little solid. They got speed. But when I watched them play Clemson in the ACC Championship game, Clemson looked like they were overpowering them, but SMU made a hell of a comeback. You see, that's that Clemson inconsistency, though. Clemson should have blew them out. I'm talking about when there's no comeback, but Clemson didn't have their running back is hurt. He's not 100%, so he plays like it. But he's their best running back, and they keep trying to see if they can get him going. Big dude, I forgot his name, Phil Maffa. That's his name, Clemson running back. You could tell, like, that's hurting their whole offense because they need a running game, you know? So, but they got a week off before this playoff starts, so he could get back to close to being 100%. I just like Clemson and Texas, but back to the SMU game, I like Penn State. First of all, James Franklin, the Penn State coach, he need to win some games against elite competition. The man beats up everybody else, but once he started playing top 10 teams, he's got like a terrible record against top 10 teams. Like, it's ridiculous. He just does not beat Ohio State when they're good, when Michigan's good. He has a terrible record. He needs to win some games, like, of value for his program, man. Or before you know it, people ain't gonna want to go there no more. They know you can't win no games. Penn State, if the way Clemson's defensive line was dominant against SMU, Penn State stay with a defense. I'm talking about all kind of NFL niggas running around. They stay with that. It's just a matter of, can their offense be like elite when it's time to be? Come through. And they got some people on that offense. They got 2 mean running backs, and they got might have the best tight end in the country. Yeah, this dude over there, he raw. The winner of this game, I like SMU though. I do like I appreciate their season. That's why they put them in there. That was a team that they picked SMU over putting Alabama back in. They were like, SMU shouldn't get punished for getting to the ACC championship game and losing. You know, they had a great season. They had the best record in the ACC all year, them and the University of Miami. And they felt like it is not right to punish them for losing the ACC championship game. And they came back with a vengeance. Like, Clemson was up by like 3 touchdowns at one point. It went down to the game-winning field goal for Clemson. They came back with a vengeance, bro. You know, I don't know if I want to blame Clemson or give credit to SMU for that comeback, but I just like Penn State in this game. I do. I like Penn State. You got to do matchups right here. I feel like their brand of football, you know, even though SMU, I think, got more speed in them, Penn State played a real brand of defense. They're going to be a little too physical, I believe, but I might be wrong. Boise State is going to play the winner of that game. it depends on who win that game to who gonna play Boise State and how that gonna go. Because if SMU win, Boise State can beat SMU. And that game can go either way. Penn State win, I believe Penn State gonna beat Boise State. But like I said, Franklin ain't good against top opponents. Boise State, only team Boise State lost to, Oregon. I don't think people paying attention to that. Like, them niggas only got one loss, and their only loss is to Oregon, who is the only team that went undefeated. Like, for real. Like, Oregon got a mean track record. They beat Ohio State, Penn State, and Boise State, man. All of them in the top, all of them in the top 10. I don't think nobody else got that type of record. Then the last game, Indiana, Notre Dame. I got to go on Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame. They play the type of football I like. They got a mean running game. Multiple backs can eat you. They got a dual threat quarterback, right? They're going to run the football on you. Their goal is to put up 250, 300 yards rushing. But, you know, if you can stop their run game, Indiana does have a quote-unquote ranked defense. But the Big Ten, I see, sometimes those numbers be skewed because there's not a lot of teams in the Big Ten that put up points. So how good is that defense really? You know? But they only loss, Indiana, is to Ohio State. They just never got love in their rankings because they didn't play nobody until they played Ohio State. That's why they're number, I didn't write the ranking. I think they're number 10. And Notre Dame was like number 7, I think. I'm seeing my thing. I done left their numbers out. It's the only ones I don't see left. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got to be 7. There's 8. Yeah, 7 and 10. So I think Notre Dame's ranked number 7 and Indiana number 10. I mean, Indiana's not trash, and that one game against Ohio State might have did wonders for them, right? That's just a good-ass football game right there, because because Notre Dame's known to get to this setting. They're not the Notre Dame of the 90s and the 80s that was like the best team in college football, in the 70s and all that shit. But they've still been really good in the last like 10, 15 years, you know? But they always get to this type of shit and lose first round. You know, they're like Penn State. They don't win the big games, but they're good this year. Both of these teams, I think, got one loss. Both of them. Yeah, I think both of them only got one loss. Now that I think about it, that's a mean little matchup right there. That might be the best game. I don't know, that whole Ohio State, Tennessee. All of them are good games. This is why I said kudos. I started the episode kudos to college football, because for a fan like me, I can watch every one of these games and sit back and watch, be wide open, watching football. You know what I mean? And it gets you, and this is going to be good for the NFL too, for us NFL guys. I like both. You're going to start seeing like who the real deal NFL players is too, versus guys that just beat up on their conference and lesser competition. Who rises to the occasion right now? Like my man from Oregon, Dylan Gabriel, can play himself into being a top 10 pick if he show out this whole shit. Even though he played good all season, but if he continue, because some of these matches NFL teams gonna look at, because like Ohio State, and Tennessee both got all type of NFL defensive linemen running around. Dylan Gabriel's a short quarterback, so he shows he can perform against a bunch of potential NFL linemen. He can play in the NFL, and he been outstanding all season. He's why Oregon's undefeated. That man's been efficient. He ain't gotta carry his team like Cam Ward did for the Hurricanes or Shadur Sanders for Colorado. He got a running game. He got a good-ass defense. But when it is in his hands, he plays at a high level. Those 75% of it, his 75% of his passes averages about 250 a game. Got about 30 touchdowns. That nigga outstanding, man. But he's like 5. He's 6 foot. He's short. But they're putting them kind of dudes in the league, and he can run. This dude can play himself right into the NFL. That might be what make Oregon a team to beat. Because that nigga know that. I know he know that. You know? But back to Indiana Notre Dame. That's a good matchup, right? Because Indiana, right, they play solid football. They got a top ranked defense. It's, we could say it's skewed, but they really might be legit, right? Their quarterback's efficient. He's one of the more efficient guys in the country. They got a running game. They don't whooped up everybody they played until they played the one ranked team they played was Ohio State. They got beat decently. It was a wake-up call. Ohio State was battle-tested before that game. They done played Oregon. They done played Penn State. Ohio State was battle-tested. So that's an interesting game. The winner of that game, this is the more interesting part, going to play Georgia. Georgia just won the SEC championship game. Beat Texas in the SEC championship game. But there's an asterisk now because their potential first-round NFL quarterback, Carson Beck, got hurt in the Texas game. And they don't know if he's going to make it, if he's going to play. But I like the kid they had come in and play for Texas. I think that's why they won. Because when Beck was playing, Beck wasn't doing shit for Texas in that game. And he's had an up-and-down season, man. Like, he was throwing all kind of picks. He finally got it going towards the end of the season. But this dude, he might, and he's about to be the starter next year anyway for Georgia. He might make a name for himself right now. And Georgia's defense was sticking against Texas in that SEC championship game. Them boys were biting all type of sacks and and getting the interceptions when it was the right time. Georgia, man, I got to give it to, and I love their coach, man. That's the best coach in all this. He just won back-to-back national championships before Michigan won last year. Georgia won it back-to-back, man. He's, to me, the best defensive mind in college football history. Kirby Smart, yes. He was defensive coordinator for Bama when Nick Saban had his 3 out of 4 year run and won championships, right? And then he done won 2. And when he won his back-to-back, his defense was biting. I'm talking about half the Philadelphia Eagles defense is his Georgia Bulldogs. And the Eagles got one of the best defenses in the country. Like, that's a straight-up fact. Look it up. They got Davis, N'Kobe Dean, Jalen Carter. That shit crazy. I've never Nolan Smith. Man, that shit is all Georgia Bulldogs. All them boys start. That's crazy. I never seen no shit like that, man. They kept the team together. And they did have Swift over there running back, but then Swift got traded to Chicago. Like, they like dead ass. Like, I guarantee you, anytime a Georgia Bulldog go and them boys, that core players say, hey, man, go grab Buddy. They gonna grab him because they see but that's Kirby Smart, man. And he got all type of other niggas in the league. You got one play the first overall pick, like 2022, that played for Jacksonville. The starting middle linebacker for Green Bay. They all over the league, man. That man, when he won them back-to-back championships, I forgot how many like first rounders he had, and it was like mostly his defense. Like, dude is the best defensive mind in college football history. When has Georgia not had a biting defense? And if they not statistically there, that's because they probably just young, right? I'm telling you. Like, watch how that defense going to be biting whoever they play in the winner, because they play the winner of the Indiana Notre Dame game. But anyways, I'm not going to pick who going to win it all, because we're just going by matchup per matchup. But I'm a fan of the game of college football right now because it's beautiful to see this. This is way overdue. All right? But we'll talk about it next week. It's your boy Dunn.